Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I told you guys I couldn't plan it any better. I I can I can be available all day long, and then every emergency happens whenever I decide to live stream. That's just how it rolls for me. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. So I hope everybody is hanging in there today. It's a very strange energy, at least where I am. I can't say where you are. Where I am, it is. Hi, Angie. Yay. I know I came back. Yay. Yeah. I have been waiting for this phone call for a couple of days. And of course, it comes right then. But anyway, it's life for me. Life for me. So tell me what you're up to. What are you guys all up to? See, this is why I don't craft in this room. Because you have to leave the door open and then everything flows everywhere. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Did I win yet? Oh my gosh. Malia, it's crazy, right? So crazy. Hey, will you go post in our Crafting Mamas Facebook group that we're live? So your dog's hitting a whiny dog? Oh no, a whiny dog. Sure it's not my dog? My dog, oh my gosh, she has taken, we rescued a little dog and she's so spoiled. She is the most spoiled dog. And she cries. She cries like, she jumps up on our bed and then she cries for somebody to put her down from the bed, although she jumps up and can jump down so that she can go outside. She's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So and you guys, this glue book has no reason. There's no reason. Hey. Well, I was only on there I was not on there. Hi, Mary Lou. Wasn't on there for that long. I was just saying, Joni, I've been waiting for like 2 days for this phone call. And of course I get it right when this always happens to me. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Whenever I do a live stream, inevitably, I could be here all day and my phone doesn't ring, but it rings. Right. It's ridiculous. You had a necessary restroom break. Well, good, Boots. Good. So I've had this book. I know you guys have seen this book for so long. I've had this book for so long, and I have been messing with it for so long. I guess this was an iCAD that I made, or, an index card a day stuck in the front of that book. Been working on it for a couple of years. You shared too much? No, you didn't. It's perfect. Are you kidding? So I just needed a little glue therapy. Guys, I've overwhelmed myself with my stash. How many of you guys do that? It's the most ridiculous thing, yes? To overwhelm yourself with your stash. Crazy. You're fussy cutting, Malia? Oh, good. Hi, Joyce. How are you? How are you, Miss Joyce? So I've been going through my stuff. I'll show you some of the books I'm going to put in my Etsy shop. You guys, and they're my treasures. Roy, they say sharing is caring. I agree with you, Joyce. My treasures. Part of me feels like you're going to laugh. So when I was talking to one of my friends and telling her about the situation with my hottie's dad and all that stuff, when I was telling her about the situation of it all, she was telling me, she was asking me, she said, so what is your, she was like, what is your biggest thing going on that you are, like meaning like she realizes that that I have what we had that I have to let go of a bunch of stuff, right? And you guys, the hardest part for me is letting go of the things that I've collected of my craft treasures. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, it's really ridiculous, but that's harder than like sell my cars, da da da. Because you guys, it doesn't traveling, spending money to take your stuff with you. It's just not. It's really not cost effective here from here. Yeah, it's more cost effective just to let everything go and get different. So so that's what. So my friend was making fun of me because I said I was going to. So I was having a hard time letting go of my craft supplies. She thought I was ridiculous, but she doesn't craft, so I guess she can't know. She doesn't craft. She does not craft. She does not craft. So she doesn't know. Oh my gosh, Mary Lou, you have no idea. You know, you have no idea. But the kind of cool thing is that we may end up in Northern Virginia, so I would actually get to meet you guys in person at some point. We could have a crafting mamas gathering on the East Coast. And we could all get together. Hi, Butterfly. How are you? You think Southern Virginia would be more my flow near you? Well, it's just where he lives. Malia, we were trying to get him to move here. It's just not been. We'll see. We'll see how the next. My hottie's going to go get him in a couple of weeks, and then we're going to start our great. Thanks, Butterfly. It's been one I've been working on for a long time. If you watch an Arting on My Lunch Minute video in there, some of that's in there. Guys, I've been working on this book forever. I love this book. Can I tell you, I love this size book. Look how, the spine's gotten huge. It's gotten big. But I love this book. It's like one of my favorite, I probably should reinforce the spine, but it's one of my favorite books. Eventually you're going to visit your daughter. Yes, we will be happier financially. You're right. If I told you guys what the rents are here, so put it this way, we pay the equivalent of what would be for rent. So if you're going to buy, we pay our rent in the house we live in is equivalent to a mortgage for $500,000. That's the rent we pay. To find, and we have a small 3-bedroom house. So to find a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, which is not much bigger than this, it would be the equivalent of the rent payment would be the equivalent of between like, so what is it, $1,000 for every 100,000? No, not now with the interest rate. So right now the interest rate is if you bought a house for $250,000 right now, your mortgage would be about $1,100. So we pay more than what a mortgage for $500,000 would be in rent now. And for just adding 1 bedroom, it would be another $500,000. Hi, Bonnie. So yeah, it's almost like it's almost $5,000 a month. I think the place I found was like 4,200, which was cheap for us. Worse than Manhattan prices, Bootsy, because at least in Manhattan, and I lived in Manhattan for years, at least in Manhattan, you could find an expensive place to eat. Food, you pay more for food here. You pay almost equivalent for the amount, and it's not necessarily higher quality food. I'm talking about going to the grocery store. Bonnie, we love you, girl. Did you guys see Bonnie has the cutest little Christmas tiny book journal ornaments in her shop right now? So cute. I live in Hawaii. I live on the island of Maui. If I lived on the island of Hawaii, it's much less expensive there. But my island, it's expensive. And I've lived here for a good while. I've lived here for a good while. How many of you guys have one of these glue books for no reason that you're just like, you glue in and enjoy and then leave it alone for a while and then come back, glue book and enjoy? And I have all these little things are in the back of the book. Bonnie, you send the best extras. I swear you do. So you guys are going to laugh. So the conversation is, okay, make a pile of what you're keeping, right? Make a pile of keep and make a pile of let go. So you guys, my pile of keep, you guys are going to, you get me. You guys totally get me. You're my peeps. My pile of keep is painty papers, other people's painty papers, cool vintagey stuff or cool eclectic weird stuff that I've collected to make journals. Bonnie, it is so cool. So like that's what made me think of it because it's in my pile of keep. That Amy's papers, Amy's dyed papers, 10 boxes of painty paper. Malia, it's horrible, right? You guys, come on. You know me. You're my peeps. 10 boxes of paper. Like, what did you leave with when you left Hawaii after living there for 11 years? I took some painty papers. You guys, it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Painty papers. That's what I'm going to take. Thank goodness I have a partner that understands, though. You guys, he totally understands. He's like, he gets it. So ridiculous, right? So ridiculous. Because I have somewhere in one of my glue books, I will find it and show you guys. May not be now, but I have like pages and pages of eyeballs. I don't know why. I love them. You can never move house now. Your Bonnie says her house is like her craft room is like a recycle center, not a craft room. Girl, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. You guys, so when I make my videos showing you, right, the eyeball page, I have books that just have pages of eyeballs. I have made books with just pages of eyeballs. It's ridiculous, but true. And chairs. You guys know I have a thing for chairs, right? I have a thing for chairs. Hi, Linda. That's what you would do? No clothes, just slippers, right? Okay, I have no warm clothes, you guys. I mean, no, clothes for cold weather. Zero. He got rid of your good cardboard. Oh my gosh. And he took your soda and tin cans to the dump? Oh no. Brian, you are in trouble. Brian. But Mary Lou, the difference is, can't you just box your stuff up and take it with you? Like, can't you just box it up, some of it, and take it with you? Me, it's like, hi, Tammy. It does not make one bit of sense. So all I'm moving with are my art supplies. I'm just looking. I love this. I don't know what I collected it from. Oh, it looks like it's from a home catalog because there's a bathtub or a sink on the back side. But I love it. I was just looking for a page to see if it would go on. Sometimes it doesn't. Yes, the cardboard. I get it. Oh, so for those of you that are interested in, because I've made them so many times, but in our next, which is not, it's Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday is our monthly hop with Meridel, with the Mariotier, and I am making live online soda can earrings. So if you guys want to make along, get your soda cans. So my little 30 minutes is going to be soda can earrings. You can also do it with painty papers. So for those of you that would rather get your nickel or 2 cents or 10 cents a can, you could do them with painty papers. I'll show you how to do them both ways. Because it used to be a hit of my craft fairing here after I got over my bad self, my metalsmithing skills, and just went for it and decided that I was going to make money and not worry about and stop judging it. Oh, this one's going to be fun. This one's going to be, I think everybody's making things you could sell at a craft fair. That's what I think. That's the theme of the hop. Am I right? Are you doing that hop, Malia? Or are you doing the Sunday hop? It's everything you can make at a craft fair. So you know me, I'm down and dirty and cheap because I live in a touristy place where things are where people want. They spend all their money getting here. I think I'm going to end up putting it on that page that I was on first because I don't have anything else. I mean, I guess it could go here. You guys, this is that gesso transfer over a magazine page. So it's a magazine page. This was the magazine page on the bottom. And then gesso and a reverse, where you turn the magazine over and you do the image transfer. So it's magazine page on magazine page. Actually works. You've got a bunch of cans boxed up. I know, right? What a day for the hop, right? The day it's the second Friday of the month. So this is the first Friday. So I think it's the 11th. Am I right? Guys, let me look at the calendar. And that's the day that Meridel does. She does a hop in the morning and a hop in the evening. And mine is in the evening. Let me see. I'll tell you the exact date, Linda. You guys, can you believe it's already November? I can't believe it's already November. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. There you go. Duh. Friday the 13th. So this Friday is the 7th. It'll be the Friday the 13th. Bootsy, it will totally work. But I'm going to just tell you this: what works better is if you use matte medium. If you use matte medium on your image transfer or putting it on fabric, matte medium better. Acrylic paint will probably work too, but it'll be stiff. Where matte medium won't. You got all your stuff already cut in flat sheets. Woohoo! You can't find your Ambien. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. You are so funny. I think it's going to be better here. I think I'm just going to put it here on top of the whatever this is, the yellow pages, the phone book. You like the results already? See, the problem, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming you're going to want to launder it, yeah? So I would use matte medium or gel medium. I've never washed anything that I've gessoed, I don't think. I probably have, and blocking it out of my mind. But there's a medium you can get for acrylic fabric. I mean, acrylic paint, guys. My head's a sieve. A medium you can get for acrylic paint. And that medium, I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's by Deco Arts. You can usually find it, and it's so that you can take your acrylic paint. Most of the time, acrylic paint won't wash out, but say you've done some sort of fine detailing with your acrylic paint, or you want your acrylic paint not to be stiff, that's the best stuff to use. And I can't remember, I don't know the brand. Okay. So, oh no, Brian's here. Brian, are we getting in trouble? Brian says, "Hi, ladies. I would like to say, in my defense, as far as Malia's craft room is concerned, it has gotten to the point where I can't tell when Malia's craft room ends and the town dump begins." Oh, Brian. Brian, I'm just going to put this. Hi, Angie. I'm going to just put this to you. Brian, Malia collects cardboard. She could be collecting Louboutins or Hermes or Birkin bags. Malia collects recyclables. I think, just my opinion, I think you're one lucky man. In fact, Vera May wandered in there and you couldn't find her until Thursday. Yeah. So that's just my 411, Brian. My 411. She collects cardboard. Oh. So back to the fabric transfer. So, Bootsy, you can even do it with a photograph. And that's even cool too. So I've done it. Bye, Bonnie. We love you. Yeah, we'll be here if we're here. And what you're making now is awesome. If I wasn't having to purge, I would get one of your Christmas books. Have fun, Bonnie. Babysitting can be fun. So back to that fabric transfer thing. So I have taken Xerox images, literal, just like taken a photograph and copied it, and done the same thing. Hi, Jean. Done the same thing with acrylic paint with that medium in it, whatever that medium is called. Done the same type of thing and put the image on there. So it works, and you can wash it. I did it on a quilt. I made it's so morose. Today's my morose day. So when my first husband's father passed away, our parents passed away within just a couple of weeks of each other. It was horrible. My mother and his father. When they passed away, it was sudden, or his dad's was sudden. And I took all these photographs, like pictures of his dad with my then husband, and they were old photographs that I just borrowed from his mother, and I took them and I printed them, copied them on copy paper, and then I did them. It would have been a heavier than muslin broadcloth kind of thing, but a 100% cotton one, like a heavyweight muslin. And then I took his dad. His dad was a scientist, but he had a big farm, and we used to call him Dr. Farmer because he was like a PhD doctor that like puttered on tractors on his weekends. So I took all of his work clothes and I cut them up, all the blue jeans, and they were all these different color blue and everything because he's worn them all this time. And I sewed them into like a quilt. And then in between, in those heavy muslin pieces, I did that reverse collage of pictures of photographs of his dad and him. photograph the two of them together. So it does work. So yeah, it's a fun thing, but I did it that way so that it could be washed. My first husband's dad passed, oh my gosh, 13 years ago. My mom and my mom and his dad passed in 2007. One of them passed in March 2007, and the other one passed in April 2007. Isn't that crazy? And then my dad, 2 years after that, in September, in March. My dad 2 years after that in March. Yeah, yeah. But my parents, eh, my ex-husband's parents weren't older, but my parents were older. My dad was my dad was like 15 years older than my mother, and he was like, I want to say he was either like 89 or maybe even older when he passed. Stay away. Yeah. I've got some cool images, but not really any of them are like doing it for me for this. I should just look through my. Oh, I do have some dice. Let's see. Save some dice. I have a Las Vegas page in this book. See, it has some dice going on here. Some red dice. That really goes so well there. Let's see what else I have. I have that. Oh, I need something on this page. Let's see what I have. Hopefully, I have something in this envelope. And then I'll show you guys some of the books that I haven't listed them yet. I made a little video of it. I have to edit. I have the listings waiting. You know how you put it in? How many of you guys have an Etsy store? It's like it's a lot of work listing everything. Oh my gosh, I love that. It is a lot of work. Well, maybe this will go in here somewhere. Oh, I really like that. Yeah, it's a lot of work. You're going through and tweaking your stuff. It's a lot of work, Malia. It's like, yeah, but I tried to talk you into. Yeah, but Jean, it's different if you're going to sell your pieces of artwork, right? That's different because those are sort of a commodity type of a thing. For me, I'm listing stuff that it's either going to end up in a landfill or I'm going to send it to you. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just, and then when you go to Jean's channel and she goes, and let's say a donation from Anonymous, you'll know it was me. Or she'll go, we want to thank you for a donate. We want to thank Pain in the Ass for a donation. Oh my gosh. Pain in the Ass for we would like to thank Pain in the Ass for a donation. Whatever reason I like this, it's so silly, but I do. I'm going to cut this part out. You have your own site and you can't tend to it and promote it. You left Etsy because it has forgotten its base and it's become too commercial. I understand. Right now, for me, though, Boots, it's a D-Stash platform. I'm not going to lie. It is D-Stash platform for this girl right here, right now. It's just too, otherwise, if I took it to the thrift store and I thought they wouldn't throw my stuff away, I'd be like, okay. But I know that that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to take my stuff to the thrift store and they're just going to chuck it away. because for them, it's too weird. It's not. You guys know what I'm saying. It's not. You guys, we don't have good thrift stores here. I did not cut that straight. You threw away a bunch of stuff you made a while ago. Why did you throw it away, Malia? No, I'm just thinking like if I like that picture, but I don't have it on the page. It's on a page of its own. But it needs something else too, and I don't know what. I like it. I need like napkins and tissue paper and all my stuff that I don't have. That's the other thing that's like a little stressful is like, what am I gonna? I'm gonna end up. Hi, Lizzie. You don't have a good thrift store where you are either. Ugh. Hi, Miss Lizzie Brewer. How are you, most beautiful lady? Love you, love you, love you. And I loved your picture that you put on Facebook of you and Tommy Sue and Papa and your granddaughter making the little truck ornaments. Those were so cute. So cute. You're doing fine. Oh, that's so good. Tammy says she's been enjoying harvesting images from magazines. A Vogue magazine showed up in your mailbox and has your address on it, but it's not mine. But Tammy, you know what? Maybe somebody sent it to you from, maybe somebody gifted it to you from Recycle Bank. Because I often send magazines to other people. Somebody may have bought it for you as a gift. I often do that. It wasn't me. If it was me, I would have told you. You might have made a mention to somebody that you wanted a Vogue magazine. I mentioned to my friend Dee one day that I wanted a W magazine. We're talking about big magazines, and I love Wine Spectator. How many of you guys like Wine Spectator? Wine Spectator makes amazing painting papers. Oh, it has somebody else's name on it. I see. And I mentioned to her that I wanted, and she was telling me, oh, that a W magazine has even better pages. And I was like, well, I need to get a W magazine. And I didn't think anything of it. And then the next thing you know, the W magazine showed up at my house. I messaged her and she said, yeah, she joins all sorts of contest things. And she goes, I got a prize of a magazine of my choice. And that one was on there. So I thought of you. I said, oh, that's so awesome. Thank you. You guys do Jean stencil technique. It works really good. Like these I made with Jean stencil sanding technique. I have this stencil that has like French words on it, and this was just like a mountaintop with a thing. You know, we don't have any good thrift stores here. We have a Salvation Army and we have a Goodwill, and here's the French stencil, and I don't know where I got it from, you guys. No idea. I've had it for a long time. So somebody asked me, I said, I had no idea. And that's what I sanded it over. With our very own Jean Peters technique here in the chat. Um, we don't have any good thrift stores here. We had a Savers for a little while, but can I tell you, it was cheaper to shop at like Target than to shop at Savers. So I was like, there's something wrong with this here because that's ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous when Savers is cheaper than, I mean, Savers is more expensive than, Savers is more expensive than, oh no, I like the back, that's why. See, I want to save it for this. All the prayer flags, I wanted to save it so, and I liked that, like, I liked both sides. I liked this, but I also like the sea of red hats, so I don't know. You should ask your neighbors, and if somebody's getting it, take it back to them and just say, "Hey, when you're done with it, will you let me know? I make art for magazines." That's what I did. There was this lady that I, she would see me come to work. So on my lunch minute, I would bring like a bag of stuff to harvest. Like, I love this image. I don't know what magazine this came from, but isn't it cool? This fuchsia image. I love it. Um, she would see me harvesting magazines, and so I was like, she finally said, like, what do you do with all that? And I said, oh, I make art with it. Next thing you know, she was bringing me all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely reach out to your neighbors. They'll definitely, I mean, there's got to be somebody willing to, that's willing to share magazine images with you. Yeah, I think thrift stores are big businesses. Well, Savers closed here. Savers closed here. We have the Salvation Army on the other side of the island. We have a couple of tiny, like we have a local church has a thrift store, but because of COVID, they aren't accepting any donations and will not open. And yet, it's connected to a church school, and yet the kids are going to school, but they won't take any donations for COVID because of COVID. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, all right, so you won't take any donations, but you'll let the kids come to school. Put the kids in danger, but no. Put the kids in danger, but no. We will not take your used shoes. They sometimes have some good stuff, but they're also kind of pricey. Like I was looking for, I wanted to make a. How many of you guys have ever made a necktie skirt? Hi, Jamie. How are you, girl? How's your baby pup? So they're just out. The price points of things are not. It's not in line with what it is. So yeah, I understand. Thrift stores are a big business, or they've gotten greedy. So I used to only go to Savers if I absolutely had to. Necktie skirts making these look wrinkled. You're hilarious. She's getting big. She's 25 pounds. Wow. Um, well, I was gonna make one for my littlest daughter for they had some sort of school thing, and I was gonna make her one. So I thought, okay, cool. I'll just go to the thrift store because nobody really wears neckties anymore. At least here they don't. They might where you guys are, but here they don't. Like jobs don't require it or whatever. Um, you guys, they wanted anywhere from $5 to $11 per necktie. I was like, I don't think so. I don't, we're not talking new necktie. We're talking like, not even like, not all of them were silk. So I was like, you can keep your neckties. And they'll still be here when I come back in a month. Savers charges $1.99 for a composition book you can get at the Dollar Tree. Ugh. I know. I don't understand it either. So we only have we have a couple consignment shops that if you're looking for something you can get there too. And those will be less expensive. But I used to volunteer at our Salvation Army up where when I lived on the other side of the island. And we would have $5 bag days, like where you would buy a big bag for $5, and then you could come and put anything in it. Anything. Except furniture, right? But anything else. But I don't think they do that anymore. I don't know. I haven't been up there to shop. Bow ties exposed too much and they're just too short. They're so bad, boots. Well, anyway, if you've ever made one of those like necktie skirts, they're fun. You know, you take the neckties apart and sew them together, and it's fun. And I thought, I can't remember they were doing play or something at school, and I can't remember what she was doing. And I remember thinking, oh, that would be cool. You know what I might do? I might do that gesso transfer with this. That would look really cool and like kind of faded out on this page. That will require my butt to get up and go get the gesso. Goodwill sells Dollar Tree stuff for $1.20 to $2. That's ridiculous. That is crazy. I don't know, guys. I'm not up on the thrift store. If we get it together and we end up back on the East Coast, I will be back to thrift store stocking. Learned a lot. Very new sewing. You might try to make a bag. Oh, good. Go for it. Right? Buy one and send me. It's ridiculous, Jamie. It's just stupid. It's just, it was just one of those things. It was like, oh yeah, I can do that. I'll make you something. And then you're just like, that's ridiculous. Why would that be so expensive? Makes zero cents. Oh my gosh, look at this. I never even noticed it. How to fold a letter. So funny. How to fold a letter to fit in a business. How to fold. Below are the steps for folding a business letter to fit in the long standard envelope. Wow, that's so cool. So I'm not going to put the purple there. I'll put something on this side and just collage on this side and leave that one. Yep. Gray. It's silly, right? It's so silly that it's so expensive. It shouldn't be so expensive. It shouldn't be expensive at all. Neckties that nobody's ever going to wear. Like, where are they going to send that stuff? It ends up, where does it end up? It ends up in a landfill, yeah? I don't know. So you guys heard earlier about my life. Tell me what's going on in your world. As we all wait for Malia to become president. Right, Malia? We're waiting for them to officially announce your presidency. Isn't that what we're waiting for, Malia? We're waiting for Brian to go to the dump and come back with all your treasures that he took, along with a pair of Louboutins and some Birkin bags. So my middle daughter is officially in Arkansas. She is a resident of Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I talked with her today, and she loves it. She loves where she's living. She loves her dog is really happy. Her husband's really happy. She's really happy. They're all happy. The only downside was that her husband's grandmother, who also lives in Fort Smith, has pneumonia and they can't see her. So that was kind of a bummer. So I said to her, well, I'm sending her some prayers. She's like, thanks, Mom. But she loves it, you guys. I was all worried for nothing. She loves it. So she was funny. She told me she went to J.C. Penney's. Like that was like she was like, "Mom, I went to J.C. Penney's." I was like, uh, "Oh my gosh, wow, that's crazy, Bootsy." Yes. So Malia for president, Jamie for vice. She's so happy. What's important? Her liking J.C. Penney's. Bye, Jean. We love you, girl. Have a wonderful night. Hope you had a good dinner. I have to think about what we're gonna make for dinner. What I'm gonna make for dinner. We love you, Miss Jean Peter artist. Maybe I'll put this on this side. That on that side. Yeah, she was like so funny because you guys, my kids grew up in mostly in New York City, and then we moved here. So there's not a lot of shopping in New. I mean, there's shopping in New York City, but there's not like I mean, Macy's is where you go. You don't go to like. There's not a. So for her, she. I don't know whether she was saying it because she thought that I'd never heard of J.C. Penney's or that it was like anyway. She was so funny. She didn't have any shoes because she lived here with me. You know, she had no shoes. She was like, I went and I got myself some shoes. Oh no, it's only 4 o'clock here. The polls are not going to close. I think they're. You know what? I don't know. You know what? Hmm. Hawaii was a mail-in state or a drop ballot box state. They did not open any of the polls. I mean, like for you to go vote in person. Um, so you could go drop your ballot. Let me see what time it closes. You could go drop your ballot, and they gave you locations, right, to drop your ballot, or you could mail it in. So let's see what time the polls close here. Oh, let's see. They close at set. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, there's something called ballot ballotpedia.org, and it'll tell you where every poll's closed. So Alabama, it says 7 p.m. Alaska, 8 p.m. Arizona, 7 p.m. Arkansas, 7:30. California, 8. Colorado, 7. Connecticut, 8. Delaware, 8. DC, 8. Florida, 7. Georgia, 7. Hawaii, 7 p.m. Idaho, 8. So it's 4 o'clock. So in 3 more hours, our polls close. We're the last ones, so I guess, right? So if it's 7 o'clock here, that'll be 9 o'clock in California. Does California stay open later than that? Iowa 9, Kansas 7, Kentucky 6, Louisiana 8, Maine 8, Maryland 8, Massachusetts 8, Michigan 8. So Missouri, Mississippi, all of those are 7 or 8 o'clock. Evidently, I didn't know this. Nebraska has two time zones. They have a central time zone and a mountain time zone. Does New Hampshire, the polling closes, it varies by municipality. So, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock now on the East Coast. So, the polls just closed in New York. Oregon, there were no polling hours. You could only vote by mail. There you go. So, it looks like we're the last ones. So, we have 3 more hours till the polls close. You have two time zones too? Oh, we don't even get me started. Are you talking about where I live, Tammy? Oh, I mailed mine in. I got it. I mean, you had to do this whole, it was a whole thing that you had to do here in order to be able to vote by mail. Okay. You had to sign, anyway, you had to sign your signature twice. Like you had to send in a verification card, like, I don't know how many weeks before. And then, like, I guess they were going to compare it to your signature. I don't know. You had to you had to send some sort of thing asking for this to be able to vote by mail, and then you got this verification thing that you've sent and signed and sent back, and then they sent your ballot, and then you had to do this whole thing. Okay, because I guess if you went in person or went to where you could drop it off, they would just check your signature there, right? Like you would take your ID and they would verify the signature on the outside of your ballot as same as the signature on the, I don't know how they did it. But anyway, it was a whole ordeal. But we did it. Yeah. Ours was, you could drop it off, but I mean, there was no in person voting. Like there was no voting machines or whatever. Good night, Linda. Hope you stay safe, girl. For all of you that are working still or not able to quarantine, I hope you stay safe. Yeah, it's getting real here. I got a weird phone message. I guess my phone was I guess my phone used to be from an employee at a supermarket here, like the phone number that I have, although I've had it for I don't know a long time. And occasionally I would get these like things saying, staff meeting, da 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 da, like something like that. And I would write back wrong number. But yesterday I got, you know, our little tiny island, like, so our county, the county I live in, it has three islands in it. Maui's the biggest one. And then there's Molokai and there's Lanai. And that's considered Maui County, these three islands. Lanai is a very small island with a population of about 3,000 people. It has a Four Seasons hotel that was bought by, that's the island that was bought by Larry Ellison. So the guy the Oracle guy. Anyway, we've only been open like 2 weeks, and within the first less than a week, they had over 100 cases of COVID on an island that had zero. But what makes it bad is there's no hospitals on that island. The other thing that makes it bad is that in order to get to that island, you have to come to my island. And in order to get to my island, you had to fly from Oahu. So whoever brought it with them flew on an airline, went to Oahu, changed planes, got on a plane to my island, and then on my island took a ferry over to Lanai. So yeah, they closed that island. They had over 100 cases in less than a week. I don't know what it is today because I haven't looked. No, I'm on Maui, but that's part of Maui County is Lanai. So yeah, Yeah, my hottie, he works out. I mean, he he works outside of our house, so it's getting real for us. I don't know how many new cases we've had here, and then the other thing, somebody. So what I was telling you, so I got this notification from this whoever owned the phone before me. They were sending from this large unnamed grocery store chain that they have tested positive for COVID on my island, and or somebody in their department has tested positive for COVID on my island, and that they are asking everyone to go get a COVID test. So part of me doesn't know if they're just not telling us, you know, which you guys, when you live on an island, you just need to be informed so you can make better informed decisions for yourself. You know what I mean? You just need to be informed. You just need to be kept in the loop. That's all. Kept in the loop. Hi, Lynn. You get calls every day for somebody who maybe Sharon and you've had your phone for 15 years. Oh my gosh, Jamie, I've had this one for at least 4 or 5. I mean, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Even though I keep telling them I'm not, I don't know who it is. I don't know if I got it or not, Lynn. I'll have to look. If it was recent in the past few minutes, no, I haven't looked, but I'll look. Oh, prayers for your friend. Oh no, Boots, big hugs. That's hard. That's horrible. Put her in our prayers, Roy. Yeah, we're just trying to stay safe. You know, for us, it's you can't really get sick here. We only have 30 regular hospital beds, and I think we have the equivalent in ICU beds for 140,000 people. Now, that's just on my island, so it's 140,000 plus a 3,000 on Lanai, and how many ever live on Molokai. So it's not necessarily a great. It's not a good. Yeah, the joke, kind of the joke here is if you get sick, get yourself to LA. It's like if you get sick, go buy a plane to LA. Big prayers, Bootsy. Big prayers. So if you guys suddenly had to move, what would be the craft supply you would make sure you took with you? You suddenly were like, okay, we have to get out. We have to move. What's the one craft supply you would take with you, if any? I don't know for me. I have so many things. Like, I love my die cutting machine. I love all my paints. I love all of the weird things I've collected. Oh no, Tammy, that's horrible. Prayers for your friend. And your printer and your computer for digitals, Jamie says. Lizzie says pen and paper for her. What else would you guys take? I don't know. Painty papers, but I'd have to take my painty papers. Um, I'd have to take my painty papers. I'd have to take, what else would I take? Painty papers, my paints, my jelly plate. I have to take, Jamie says lace. Bootsy says sewing machine. So what would you take if you were leaving? If like you had to move, it's like, okay, but you can only take a few things. You can't take everything, just a few things. So jelly plate, paints for me, painty papers. I love my die cutting machine. Oh, Bootsy says and crochet hooks. Oh yeah, crochet hooks. Jamie, I met you before you even knew what a junk journal was. You remember that? Now you're making all kinds of pretty journals. Beads, Shoni said beads. Awesome. Are you still making soap, Miss Jamie? Jamie make Jamie makes really amazing soap. I saved your life. No, we're just friends, James. We're just friends. No, we've all been through a lot together. That's what good friends do for each other. And you know what? I know people think it's hokey because we're crafting online and basically I'm sitting in a room talking to myself. But journals have taken over. You're not making soap. Your Amex card, Bootsy says. Aha. Tammy says watercolor pads, paints, pencils, and acrylic paints. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. You guys, I have so many kind of cool things that I like love that I'm like, oh, I have to find a good home for this because it's not gonna, you know what I mean, right? You get to that point where you're like, I can't take it. Like I can't take it with me, but I don't want to. Like if you knew somebody was gonna throw your stuff away, and a stack of stencils, oh good. Oh, I love you. I remember. I think about your sister all the time, Jamie. I'm glad I could be there for you. I'm glad we found each other because never know in this crazy world how stuff happens. At least in my crazy world, you know how that goes, girl. Well, one thing I'm looking forward to, no matter where we end up, if is that I'll get to. Hopefully, all this COVID will be over before. Hopefully, all this COVID will be over soon, and we can all get together. Like we can meet each other for a crafty day somewhere. Mail them to you, and you'll mail back. I already have a box of mailing things, you guys. I already started like I put well, at least for my hottie I do because I bought him some new paintbrushes. I don't know if it was last year, or the year before, and they were crazy expensive. Like one brush was like, $80 or something. So I've made a box of that. I love these cranes. These are hilarious. Where are they geese? What are they? Leaping in unison. Eurasian cranes in Sweden perform a maneuver usually seen in a courtship dance. That's kind of cool. But I like this side too. So see, I saved it for this side. This was really the side I saved it for because of all the way the land looked. But then I like the dancing cranes too. The leaping cranes. Hmm. I don't really have a lot of good stuff here. I'll know what I'll do. I'll show you guys all my cool books I'm putting in my Etsy shop soon. Your hooks, your gadgets, and your die cutting machine. Awesome. Nash says, I collected them because I love them. Why should I leave them behind? Well, I live on an island, Nash, and I can't take everything. It would cost me way more. It would cost me some crazy amount of money to take them with me. We saw one of these birds the other day with a huge fish in its mouth. Ooh, That's crazy. Love that. All right, I'm going to clean my little thing up and I'll show you some of my treasure books, okay? Books that I've hoarded. I'm now using the H word. I know it's a bad word, but I'm now using it. I'm officially using the H word, the hoard. Because honestly, that's what it's come down to. You guys, I love my stuff. I love my stuff, okay? That I have. So I don't know how many of you I've ever told this to, but I used to do craft retreats twice a year here with a company that brought people that were cancer survivors to Hawaii, and they used to do it. I guess one year I did it 3 times a year, and so they would pay like whatever their fee was to the company, and the company just paid me, and I provided all the supplies because they could bring a few things that they wanted, but so that's why I have 4 sewing machines. That's why I have sometimes I'll have an overabundance of stuff because if you're going to have, and it would be there would be between 20 and 40 participants per session, okay? And they could come for, and there were 3 sessions, and they could come for a week, they could come for 2 weeks, they could come for 3 weeks. One session was 3 weeks. So you could have had 20 people for 3 weeks, or you could have had 20 different people every week. It was kind of a thing. I didn't organize that part. I just did the crafting part. So some of the things that I collected with that in mind because what I would do the first day of class is I would set it all up, and we would do all kinds of projects from glue books to junk journals to we sewed very simple tote bags. We did all kinds of stuff. We made mixed media books. I love her. I got to find a place for her. We did mixed media books. We did I don't know, just kind of the class itself took on a life of its own, but there were tables of stuff in the little place that we rented. And one table had the sewing machines on it, so anybody could use the sewing machines. And then one table may have had bags and bag making things. I'm sorry, these little bits are flying everywhere. Like if we're gonna make small tote bags, bag making materials, and one would have whatever, journaling, junk journaling, whatever it was, scrapbooking kind of things. I mean, it was just really a place for people to come gather. And so obviously it's not going to happen this year. And the one that I was gearing up for was coming. One group was coming in March when COVID hit and they canceled their trip. And then another group was coming. Anyway, let's just say they're not there going to come. And I don't know. They can't. They have compromised immune systems. So I don't know when they can come back. So I have saved and hoarded all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I totally will fussy cut those birds. You read my mind, Jamie. You're reading my mind. I know I wanted to put some paint down on some of those pages, and I don't have it. So I'll show you guys because I just made a video. They're not in my Etsy shop yet. I have to list them all. They're in the part where it's kind of in flux. So this is an old cookbook. It was by the 4-H club did it. But what's cool about it, so this would have been on the table and they could have taken it apart, or somebody could have just taken it with them, right? What's cool about it is it gives you, look at this. This is so needed here. Guide for cake baking at high altitudes. You guys, everything cooks differently here, because we're at such a high altitude. Isn't that cool? But what's cool about this cookbook is it's 40 years of local foods. Like, look, this is babinka, but you've never had babinka. It's this mochi cake, I guess, or mochi. I don't know. Mochi is rice flour. So this is babinka icebox mochi. These are all Hawaiian recipes, like local style recipes from the, Hawaii is a melting pot of cultures. So Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Portuguese, um, native Hawaiian, along with everybody else that came here. So some of these are like tamago maki, it's a Japanese recipe, whereas I think babinka might be a Filipino recipe. What's your ad? You're 5,000 above? Okay, so this is 5,000 above. Okay, guides for cake baking at high altitudes. 5,000, reduce baking powder for each teaspoon, decrease. For each teaspoon of baking powder, decrease it from by 1/8 to 1/4. Reduce your sugar per cup at 5,000 feet, 2 teaspoons. No, 2 tablespoons, 0 to 2 tablespoons. Increase liquid for each cup added would be 2 to 4 tablespoons for liquid. I'll take a picture of it and send it to you. So anyway, this is in my Etsy shop. Not yet. So this, and I collected it because I thought this is so cool. Doesn't have a date on it. I don't know exactly when. I don't know when it was made, but the 4-H isn't here anymore, so I don't know. But it's cool because you look in the back of the thing. You look in the back, and it tells you the index in the back. You're like looking at it, and it's so cool. It's like you can see Japanese recipes, you can see Portuguese recipes, you can see Chinese recipes, you can see, kind of a local style mix, Korean. It's got all kinds of stuff. Like Kalua pig is a Hawaiian recipe. It's really cool. All kinds of how to make Korean codfish, Hawaiian nuts and bolts. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look at that. What I thought was cool is they had like desserts, and they were like so, because it's all taro pudding, you know, all sorts of different things that you can only get here. So anyway, it's an old one. And it's not in mint condition, you guys. It's got boxing on the pages. It's got, if you guys didn't know, Maui has red dirt. So, this is probably a little red dirt too. This is cool. This is like a fourth edition first aid thing from the 50s. What's cool about it, I mean, I think it's cool. I had gotten it because I was going to make a junk journal out of it. And I didn't. That's whoever owned it. What's cool about it, when I was flipping through it, it has some cool illustrations. When I was flipping through it, let's see, where is it? There is a piece. Here it is. A piece of Hawaii ephemera. Maui, October 24th, 4th through the 30th, Aloha Week, Hawaii, statewide festival, youth festival, 1965. Isn't that cool? So it has some cool. It's from the Red Cross. So this one is cool. I'm going to put that in my Etsy shop. I haven't done it yet. Oh my gosh, I coveted this, you guys. This is a book from like 1929. The mere fact that it still exists here is remarkable because the elements take everything. This is a really old book from the 20s. It's got the deckled pages. I loved the cover. The spine's still intact, which is cool. It looks like whoever owned the book did put some sort of cloth book tape down on it in a couple places right in the very front. Isn't that cool? So I had gotten this to make a junk journal from, and I'm not doing it. Okay, this one's really cool. I loved it for I think the title's hilarious. Honey from the Weed. You like locally printed, so do I. This one's hilarious, but this is like this. I am Freshen. I don't know how you say his name. Is an English writer. So when is this one from? I think this one's from the 70s. I thought it was from the 60s, but I think it's from the 70s. 1973, printed in Great Britain. So I thought it would make an excellent junk journal. I just thought the cover itself. And what's cool is it's got that tape, they've taped it and then it's just colored where the tape is not on it. And I don't know. That's just me. And look at this tiny thesaurus. Oh, I loved this. It's tiny and the pages are delicious. They're like, and I think it's only from the 80s, but it's just got, this would be a great glue book. This would be, you'd have to glue some pages together because they're thin, but this would be a great glue book. And I loved it for the size. And let's see. Oh, yeah, here. Everybody, I've ordered this. I'm not going to use it. Put it in my shop. This is the paperback version of the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. It's the paperback version of the big version. And this one, I think I don't know how wide it is, but anyway. So, yeah, had it in my stash. Letting it go. Letting it go. Totally letting it go. And then I'll show you some other cool ones. Like these are some of my cool. This is really cool. Now, I've been hoarding this for a while, and yeah. This is an old ledger. It just has lined paper in it. I looked it up. They do sell them new. They're about $50 new. This one is got foxing on the pages. And it starts at page 1. There's nothing written on page 1, but then whoever wrote in it ripped out the pages. So then it goes from page 77. And that one looks like it's a little rustic, but then the ones in the back are all good. All this lined ledger paper with all the stamps at the top of the page numbers, right? And it's sewn in. You get all the way to the back, and it has 2 pages that are written on, page 298 and page 300. And that's it. And it's sewn in. I was going to make a journal out of it for myself. Don't you love that? Isn't that beautiful, the foxing on that page? And it's sewn in signatures, so you could take it apart. And the cover's in excellent condition. So, yeah. You got the deckled edge trimmer from Tim Holtz. I have a deckled edge ruler somewhere. I don't know where I got it though. And then, okay, I've hoarded these. These are 1930 and 1933 yearbooks. I have hoarded these. And I think they're from Chicago, I think. But they have got the best pictures. Wait till you see them. Like, look. They have got some great pictures. Oh, I love these. So this one's from 1933. And then and like in the back, they have all these like ads for whatever the stores were there. Isn't that cool? Why pay more? Decorate your home now. I guess it must be for wallpaper. 30-inch plastic, lowest price wallpaper, 12.5 cents per roll. Wow. It's cool though. You have some yearbooks you've hoarded from the 50s. Part of these things I don't want to let go of, but you know what? I have to because I can only take a little bit, And I know what if somebody told me today, they'll all come back. They said, don't worry. Before you know it, you'll have hordes of stuff. I have more than these yearbooks. I have a whole bunch of other ones. And then 1931. Okay, this one I love. Oh my God, you guys, I love it. First of all, I love like the cover. Look at the like raised, whatever this is, how they've done it. Looks like it. I love it. Sort of purple. Inside the yearbook is pink. Okay. Is it not beautiful? Oh my God. I was like, and it has some foxing on the pages. Look at these pictures. They are hilarious. Look, I love these. It's so ridiculous, but I do. Mabel Harrison, Mildred, Ruth, Louis, Bernice, Lorraine. I loved these. It's so ridiculous. Here's Orville Riesig. There's Orville. We got an Orville on here. We got a Gordon, Helen. We have a Linnea. Oh my gosh, she looks very serious. We have a Wilbur. We have Wilbur and Harry and Clarence and Ted. So, yeah, these are from my hoarding. Okay, I will just come clean. I've been hoarding. You guys, it's so ridiculous. But I loved it. I was just going to make a journal, take some of the pages out and put them in a journal, I think. I don't know. Sometimes I have things and I just like the thing with like nothing in mind. Isn't there any of you like that where you just like buy something or you get it or you find it and you're just like, I have nothing in mind. I'm just going to keep it. But these could be worth thousands. I don't think so, Lynn. I think they're just like nothing. And then you guys, here we go. I have a few of these because I collected them because I made mine. Hi, Michelle. Because I made mine, and here's mine, so you can see what it starts out like and see how fat mine got, right? So I was going to start a new journal, I guess, at some point, and the book's intact except I made my crazy secret pocket in the back. Depending on who's in them, well, I better look through it. I don't know how would I know if any of those people are famous? Anyway, I guess I have to say famous people and Google it. So I have a couple of those in my shop. Don't have them in there yet. I will in the next couple of days, maybe. Then I had this book, Black Beauty, and you guys, I saved it because I thought it was so cool. But the spine is definitely coming off, but it didn't bother me because I was going to take it off anyway. They have a website. Look them up. Okay, I'll look them up. And this is just has deckled pages, lots of foxing, but they have black and white images on the inside, one color image at the front. But look at this. Okay, I know you guys can relate and love this with me. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Like where the tape has yellowed. Somebody took the yellowed tape off and put clear tape on it, I guess. But isn't that cool? I love it. It's so ridiculous. Right? It's the little things that make you happy. Yeah, so this was one I was going to make a journal out of. Obviously not now, but. And I will show you my hoarded sewing book. Oh my gosh, you guys. I love this book. Okay, so a few years ago, I made a couple of sewing journals. And I think I got this at that time when I made the sewing journals. This is from, let's see, when is it from? 1961. Okay, look at the front cover. I love it. And look at the back cover. Isn't it great? Doesn't it look like an old movie? Like an old Doris Day movie? But wait till you see the inside. Oh my gosh, you guys. I love this book. So for anybody making a sewing journal, this would be your book. Look at the illustrations. They're just fabulous. Oh my gosh, it gets better. There's some colored ones in here that I'm like, oh, now I remember why I Now I remember why Guy collected this book. Some of them are so cool. They have a whole thing in here on how to do applique, which is brilliant. Your mom still has this book? Oh, Susan, go get it. It's so good. Oh my gosh. But wait, let's see. I got to get to the applique section. And then they have the section with the women and their patterns. Oh, I don't know. It's the little things, right? You better go get it, Susan. Isn't it great? Even the numbers on the book is great. Okay, here we go. Party dress trims, quirky color touches. Here we go. Ready to sew applique accents. Oh my gosh. I was like, mm-hmm. So I have a few different sewing things that I have collected. Look at these pictures. Don't you love this? Look at the illustrations at the top up here. Right? So cute. Look at it. So cute. So cute. I love it. Yeah. So there's a few treasures from my hoard. This is why. Look at this. Accessories for a casual suit. I just love this. Yeah, I just loved it. I don't know why. I just did. Showing you how to pick up fabrics. Oh my goodness. So look, even how to make your own bedspread for the 1960s bedroom. Look at this one. Look at two twin beds. It's a great book, right, Michelle? Does have one little tear down here. There you go, at the bottom of the page. But look at the bed. Isn't that great? Look, the sofa, I mean the bed and the chair, the same upholstery and the same fabric. Tells you how to tuck in your coverlet. Tells you how to make it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that'll be in there soon. That's just some of them. You guys, it's ridiculous. Jamie says, Roy, are you still in here? She says, if you're still in here, you need this book so you can outfit her and Malia for their presidential run, for their presidential acceptance speech. Can you whip it up really quick? I'm telling you. And I have a whole set of other ones that are just similar. You guys, these are my personal hoard. My personal ridiculous hoard. And botanical books and yeah. But you see, like if I just decided, okay, I'm not going to do anything with them, and I take them and we leave the island, and I take them to the thrift store, they're not going to keep them. They're just going to throw them away. So Lynn says she will vote for both of you if you redo the rose garden with some color. You guys are too funny. So that's just a few of my hoarded books. Guys, I wish I could tell you this is all I have, but it isn't. It is. And they were for me, or they were for I collected them either for myself or with a thought that when those groups were here, that they would use some of the materials for them. So I have a little few too many things. Yes, I do. A few too many things. Books are fun. Books are fun, and I think when you can go back and make something useful out of something that was just going to be completely trashed, you know. Lynn says, thanks for saying you'll redo it because white is so boring. So those are a few of my crazy books that I've been hoarding all this time. Anybody else a book hoarder besides me? You know I can't be the only one. Maybe I am, and that's okay. I can be the only one for some things. Yeah, I have all kinds of ridiculousness going on. I definitely do. I have all kinds of ridiculousness. And so, and then I have this yearbook. This is another hoarded yearbook. I have it sitting next to me because I have a bookshelf next to me where I went through my stuff and I put the books that I'm willing to let go of over there. You guys, I think it's kind of like doing an intervention with yourself where you just have to get to the realization that there's just no way that you're even going to use all these things, and you have to make a choice, right? So this is another one. This one isn't as old. This one, what year is it? This one is, I have more. This is from 1967, but it's from a Hawaiian high school. So it's got some really cool stuff in here. From 1967. Isn't that funny? Look at everybody in their cool haircuts and hairdos. Oh my gosh, the drill team. You're a book hoarder, Malia. It's hard, right? Especially if you really love them. But what's cool about it is, for the average person, you wouldn't have these books anymore, right? Football. Football's a big deal here. From 1967. And somewhere in here, there's some hula pictures because there's always some festival where they're doing the hula. But it's cool. So that is what I have going on. That's what's going on in my world. It's cool though. Class of 19. This is from 1969, but they're showing you all the underclassmen. Class of 1970. She'll plant those for you, Lynn. Malia says your vote means something to her. She will plant that for you. Oh my goodness. So tell me what else is going on with you guys as we flip through my treasures. As I lovingly can flip through my treasures, knowing I'm going to have to let go of them soon and be okay with it. Have the kids decorate the sidewalks with chalk. Yeah, I would love that. That would be awesome. Can you imagine going to the White House and having some chalk drawings on the sidewalk? That would be super awesome. So because I'm going to be moving, Michelle, and I can't take them with me because I'm moving. I don't know exactly when yet, but if I don't start now, I'll end up having regrets and I'll end up in a landfill, and that'll make me, well, my hope was we were just going to move to a bigger house here, but that doesn't look likely because, believe it or not, even in a pandemic, the prices here have gone up. So this is the dilemma we're in. My partner's dad has um, dementia. Well, I told you guys vascular dementia, the beginnings of vascular dementia, and he lives in Northern Virginia. So it's looking kind of likely that we may end up somewhere near there, you know. Originally, we thought we would just bring him here. And I have been looking for a place. I for since we since the reality that he's doing much worse than we thought, you know. Like he's still physically very active, and he loves to walk and hike and do all those things, and he has a hunting dog and he runs his dog. Well, he got lost. I don't know, it was last week or the week before. He was lost for like 4 hours. So it's becoming more and more evident that he will not be able to be on his own. So we are, so my hottie, now that they've lifted the COVID restrictions for travel here, because for here for a while, it was 14-day quarantine, no matter where you came from, even with a negative COVID. Night, Mary Lou, we love you. Even with a negative COVID test, it was a 14-day quarantine. So, and it was a 14-day quarantine to there. Now it is no quarantine to there if you show up with a negative COVID test, and the same here. So it was a little while because, I mean, we couldn't afford for him to fly there and have to quarantine for 14 days and then spend a couple days with his dad and then have to come back and quarantine for 14 days. So now we are, now he's going to, now he's going to go and get his dad and bring him back here. And then we have a little bit, we have a little bit of time, and then we're going to probably head to the mainland in the spring. So unless something drastic happens between now and then. So I've been lovingly going through my things because I can't take it with me. Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate thumbs up or thumbs down. It's the same as YouTube size. So I appreciate. Look, I just know that if I let it go here, it'll just end up. Have you lost me? I think I'm still here. I'm sorry. I think it's the kid. The kid that's home is gaming. You want to see one of the coolest things I've been hoarding? I think this is a Japanese quilting book, but it has patterns in it. Like, wait till you see them. Like, it actually has the patterns that you would cut out to make the quilt. Isn't that crazy? Anyway. Well, I love you, my lovelies. I'm going to let you go. I will try and keep you guys up to date as I move along. Yeah, Tammy, message me. If I have something you want, let me know. And take care of yourselves, you guys. Be kind to yourself. Take care of yourselves. I love you all. And hopefully I'll see you back again soon. And yeah, just stay tuned. You'll see, I put a bunch of wallpaper in my Etsy shop today. Just keep looking. It makes me happy that it's gone to a good place. And whatever money I make there, it'll just help me buy more hoarded supplies when I get there. All right, I love you guys. Take care. Have a really good evening, all right? All right, bye for now.